Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Smite Draft League Week 6 here. Godlike Division, Flourish versus Sunbreakers. Here on the tank top team, we've got Deelo, that's me, and we got Ztan joining us. Ztan, man, how we feeling?
Feeling great, brother. Glad we could get semi-matching outfits going on here. We got what is it, Godlike Flourish Sunbreakers?
I mean, look good, feel good, man. That's what it's all about, and hopefully members of each team here are also feeling good. Ztan, just walk me through, give the viewers at home who maybe fell asleep in a coma for 10 years, Captain America style, don't know what the meta is looking like now. What are we expecting with these P's and B's?
So meta hasn't shifted too wildly. Probably some of your biggest changes are coming out of like the mid lane, the mage roles. You're seeing a lot more Book of Thoth right now. You're seeing a lot more Tablet of Destinies. You're even seeing some pretty tanky builds coming out of the mid lane. And that, oh boy, it's making it a little more difficult for the jungles to dive your mid. Jungles are still kind of running in that bruiser meta, solo, similar. Not too much has changed, but that mid lane is looking spicy.
Yeah, you've seen sometimes the Breastplate of Valor pickups there for that added cooldown, especially when combined with that Book of Thoth. A very potent combination here. It seems that Sunbreakers recognizing that those aggressive jungles that can eat through that armor, like Baka and Flourish, going to say the same for Thor, they need to be taken off the map, and they both will be obliged. So no junglers here. It seems that we're completely trying to go with a deforestation campaign as Sunbreakers also decide to wipe off Kali.
Yeah, all this pretty standard. Kali, Bakasura, absolutely able to hard carry games if need be. Thor has a massive map presence, semi-global ult, builds great into the bruiser style. Just pretty much what you expect to see here. Marticarus being taken off the board. Set similar scenario to the Baka and the Kali. I don't believe Charon is legal just yet.
Yes, and the time this set was played, it is currently not going to be allowed.
Yeah,
Yes.
he will be, and now that I will tell you for the future is something that we will be probably seeing a lot of here in these pick ban phases. I'm a big fan of some Charon.
I'm a big fan of this Giannis ban. I mean, I've personally seen it mostly be played lately down in the Immortal Division, on especially Adora comes to mind primarily, but maybe Flourish, having seen what that pick can do, gonna just decide to not let it traipse over to a maybe higher skilled player in the Godlike Division here, and that's going to be the final ban for the first wave. A lot of solo lane options, though, still stand.
Yeah, the problem with banning right now is that there is just so much that is good that even if both sides got 6 bans for the first ban phase, there's still going to be a few picks up that are pretty cracked. The Giannis I don't hate. I don't hate it. It's got fantastic rotational ability. He hits like a truck. Speaking of hitting like a truck, Freya.
Freya, your thoughts?
What can I say, man? The god's good. Honestly, she's probably the closest to a balance point that Hi-Rez has managed to find for her in the last 6 years of living memory. Freya is that one god, man, where it's like you'll see it in the patch notes, and it's like, yeah, we tweaked the damage on her 2 by 0.5 and gave her a 1% cooldown buff, and she's piss broken for the next 4 weeks. Or she's completely useless. Like, they've had such a tough time finding that balance point, and she's pretty good right now. Now, the Habwa.
The Habwa.
That's one of my preferred matchups into Freya. I think is that?
I didn't even tell
Oh,
him to do that. Listen, I was advocating like other team. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I've been heavily on the Amira propaganda train in the Immortal chat just every day singing this god's praises. Sunbreakers must have caught wind or something. They're just trying to curry favor with me right now, but I love it. And it's gonna be fire and ice. Truly a matchup that George R.R. Martin would be very proud of. It's indeed on the Sunbreaker side, a song of ice and fire. Ztan, talk to me about these new magical threats.
winter is coming, my friend.
Bingo!
Uh Ymir,
I will
hot
leave
take here. I
standing
don't
no
think
barrier
Ymir's
to
terrible.
our success.
I do
Correct.
think that there are, a lot better picks.
No.
But Ymir, I did say hot take. I did preface this
It is
with
a hot
take.
take. It is a hot take. Carry on.
I do think that there are gods out of the support role that do a lot more, but Ymir, if played correctly, can do all of it very well. He can also make the jungle fights a complete nightmare.
This is true.
So, we can look to see that here. The one thing I worry for with this Freya, like I was saying before your boy got locked in, is this Habwa. The one way that you traditionally deal with Freya is to blow her up before she has a chance to do anything about it. And Habwa does a spectacular job of that.
Yes.
Rest of these bands, Olo, Susano, Sun Wukong, Ravana. Only one that kind of surprises me there is going to be the Oleron.
Yeah.
Um, maybe they know something about Kane that we don't. Maybe this guy's got a cracked Olo.
Definitely potential.
Olo, super great. Has a super great ult.
I am
For
the
sure.
shoguness
Sanctified
of
Field's a huge
sorrow.
threat. Gonna have to watch out for that, certainly, as we look to the indeed gonna be a physical carry here on the side of Flourish. An Izzy pickup. Let's also talk about Ganesh and Shock being their front line. That's gonna honestly, like, I love Ymir. Huge fan, but Ganesh really has no issue just running right through those walls. Remove obstacles is a fantastic dash to get around that. Honestly, I'm a bit perplexed, despite my fanboying over Ymir, why that's the second lock-in you want. It's it's not something they're gonna ban out. Flourish don't understand the tech. Listen, they don't understand the threat, so they're not going to be picking it. They're not going to be banning it. So in that sense, I'm a bit worried, but they're gonna try to counter it with some pressure of their own. Now, can Cleanup move through those walls? Imagine, not actually, but if that is the lock-in, that would be some hilarious potential fantasy synergy here. But at least for what we have right now, Z10, what are our thoughts on the Izzy and Ganesh lock-in for Flourish?
You have yet to see the meaning of
I think the
cruel.
Ganesh lock in and the Izzy, it does kind of make Ymir's life a lot worse.
Yeah.
You mentioned that he's not going to get banned out, and I do think that's kind of the risk you run taking a pick like that this early in a draft. You can get counterpicked, and it is what it is. You knew what
It
you were
is
doing
what it
taking
is.
that pick. These are high level players. They knew what
They
they were
are.
doing taking these picks where they did. So, he's going to play around it.
Sure as hell hope so, because I really want that comp to succeed. But it's going to be rounded out by a Daji and an Ao Kwang. CC aplenty on this team, and I'm always a huge fan of that, especially when you're carry. That Freya is going to need it, not only for the offensive purposes to get those kills, but also to get to safety. Flourish, though, not intent on letting her go anywhere but the grayscale, a potential Pele hover, someone who's very adept at chasing down immobile gods, could be just what Flourish needs.
Yeah, I think we can make the assumption that the Habwa is going to be going to Chubby in mid.
Killawaya's fury!
Indeed.
Assuming that Pele gets locked in, sure enough.
Boom.
So, Chubby's going to be on this Habwa. Habwa is presumably going to have a time going into Agni here in the mid. His early pressure is not anything near what Agni's is. He's going to get out cleared. But I don't know. If I'm looking at this, I'm looking for Sunbreakers to kind of have the early here.
I'd agree.
And I'm looking for Flourish to pick it up towards the mid.
They're both going to have to certainly watch out for those timers and recognize where their teams start to show their flaws, show those cracks in the ice, versus when that stuff's going to hold down a bit stronger. I do think that Sunbreakers, despite maybe falling off a little bit as far as the mid, once Flourish starts to pick up some power spikes, they do at the same time have great late game tools in the factor of their team fight ability, massive cone CC stun, some great artillery stun from the Agni, the powwow is going to be insanely useful, and Freya. That is going to be their trump card they pull at the end to just make sure they can just deal tons of damage and make sure that Flourish have no answer available on their side. But I don't know. Before we get into the game here, comp for comp, Z10, just give it to me quick. Flourish or Sunbreakers? Who's got it?
Oh, man, I like Flourish. I like Flourish here.
I also gotta say, big fan of Flourish's comp, but you know where I stand. Sunbreakers, Ymir all the way. Let's get right into the game, though. I cannot wait. Hello, everyone, and welcome on back to the Smite Draft League. Week 6 here, Godlike division, but you might not know it based on some of these God picks. Some very unconventional stuff being brought out here, but maybe, in fact, that does show that it's the Godlike division. The confidence on these players to execute at a high level on some less than typical picks here. I'm Deelo, joined here by Z10, and Z10, as we step into this early game, where do we think the pressure's going to be?
Immediately, I am looking for Daji and Agni to have pressure in this mid lane. Ibba and Chubby definitely have the potential for pressure, but Habwa's wave clear, like I was saying on the desk, just really shouldn't. I'm going to use the word shouldn't be able to compete with Agni's. Duo lane, honestly, I'm kind of looking for Kenny and Garrett here too. The Ymir and the Freya clear. Izanami's great, but Ymir and Freya is going to be tough to fight into.
Yeah, you're kind of offsetting Freya's lack of early clear with Ymir, who is very adept in that category. But let's talk about some other interesting matchups here. Ao Kuang solo. We didn't really get to talk about that. When I see an Ao Kuang, I just typically dismiss it as a jungle pick. But no, with Daji in the jungle, it's going to be Ao Kuang squaring off against a Shock. How do we feel like that matchup stacks out?
I feel like DoorDasher here is gonna have to play pretty safe. You know, it's gonna be tough to go blow for blow with a Chalk this early into the game. You know, but he's immediately building into what I'm gonna assume is probably a contagion. You know, as the game moves on, he's gonna be there to pester the back line. He's gonna deal enough damage to hurt the squishies, and he's gonna be there for that execute. And I do like that for Sunbreakers team fight moving into the late.
And they might be moving into the solo to try to find the kill on the Anime. A nice Wildstorm going to do a bit more of a divot into the solo laner's health bar, but with no execute and not enough damage available, Shock will stand. Also, side note here, we do have a DrunkDoorDasher, interesting name change there, but it is the lovable and reliable Sam Squared there piloting that Ao Kuang, and we here at the Smite Draft League do not advocate for drunk driving, whether it be to DoorDash or anything else, so just keep that in mind as KillCamKenny underneath some pressure here. The famous Ymir wall strategy. Love to see that KillCamKenny is indeed a Ymir enthusiast and showing his skills in that god, but right now, Daji showing the damage onto ChubbyOstrich, gonna find the first blood. Pele's trying to find the return kill, but Flame Dash as well as the stun. Might be getting yourself a second kill here. Does Codester have the dash to catch up? Unfortunately, Thousand Cut's not going to be able to catch up. Must have been on cooldown, but still, Sunbreakers do end up with one kill for the first blood.
From what I recall of timers, I do believe the ability should have been off cooldown there. I think he just chose not to eat the tower shot.
Respectable, but AyeGarrett eating a bit of damage here. Ganesh trying to step up against this Freya, but ooh, Spectral Aspect. Gonna do some decent damage here, but Izzy is not going to be quite chunking with those abilities quite yet here. What is, speaking of, is Izanami's role going to be when it comes to those later stages of the game where we start team fighting it up? Right now, of course, it's just going to be a clear bot, and she's certainly serving her purpose there.
Well, she's got the Gilded Arrow there. You know, we're going to be looking for Izzy to kind of take care of the tanks and the front lines that are diving. She may be building into crit. That is certainly a possibility. Crit has seen something of a resurgence here recently. So, speaking of Ao Kuang going toe-to-toe with Chalk,
it ain't going
that's tough. Yeah, you know, you're just not going to fight off a Chalk at this level. Not without a significant skill gap in the lane, and you know, in these godlike games, that's a pretty rare occurrence.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I mean, you're probably going to see that be a bit of a nothing burger unless DrunkDoorDasher just steps a bit too far to line. Sam Squared needs to make sure keeps both hands on the wheel, especially when you're under the influence. Get home safe to that tier 1 tower. Make sure you can fight another day here. But right now, with that 1 kill in pocket, Flourish seeming to opt for a bit of a passive stance here. No one's really been too aggressive since that first scrap in the mid lane. Who do we think benefits more from that when we just kind of have the farm fall where it may?
Well, honestly, I think both teams benefit from it here a lot.
In a sense, yeah.
So, Flourish have the Habwa and the Izzy, both of whom really don't do a lot until, the mid-late point. Yes. And Agni and Freya kind of fall into that same category. If these teams decide to kind of back off of each other and just go the farm route, I don't think either of them come out the worse for it.
Oh, but DrunkDoorDasher are getting out pretty well with that case. Nice ultimate just to give yourself a nice banish, but now going to turn back. Might not have been the best decision. Ibba going to take the life there of Sam Squared, but a great powwow. Drags in 2 and gets Codester the double. Fantastic follow-up there off the Daji to find the opportunity, make the scoreboard 3-1 for the Sunbreakers.
Yeah, this is where you kind of have to ask, was it worth it?
Chubby have to ask that same question. Has to use a crushing wave, but that was worth it because you got yourself the kill on a Psythro. Manages to escape the shards of ice, and now don't put the Amir on a poster, please. I beg of you. As long as KCK, jeez, those are letters, gets away safely, I'm a happy camper. But Flourish do manage to get themselves another kill in their pocket. Codester gonna get a nice cheeky steal there on that blue buff. Already a 2-level disparity here between those junglers.
Yeah, and, that lead can be pushed a lot. Daji's off to a 3-0 start now, got the first blood, got that double kill. This is a god that already kind of performs relatively well when you're on level. She performs very well ahead. So,
I need to find out what it's feeling like to perform behind. If you're going to get killed there, has to use the Valkyrie's discretion. Saves it for the very end, but might drop down in the midst of a dark portal. Has to be careful there. Is going to get away as long as that purple buff doesn't finish the job. But that was good play there by AyeGarrett. I like being conservative, realizing that I'm not quite in any danger. The Dark Portal was down, probably already knew the cooldown of that as well, so I'm liking this conservative play here from the Freya. Remaining safe so far, 0-0, a clean bill of health, even if you have no kills, we'll take that. Just ensures that she can reach the late game and is going to be able to deal those damage numbers out.
Yeah, and that's really what you have to play like on Freya, unless you just for some weird reason get a triple kill in the opening 3 minutes and you've got thousands of gold. Freya has to play pretty conservatively. She doesn't out pressure a lot of duo lane opponents, and you're really looking for her to get a few items online. So I love that he's keeping himself alive there. Gold XP differential, nothing wild, about 1,000 in both.
Yeah.
No real danger for anybody here, although
might have spoken a bit too soon there. Commentator's curse might be finding the back of Sam Squared. Volcanic lightning gonna drop him down. Shaking his fist, he says, "Damn you, Z10!" But unfortunately,
all right. So someone was in danger.
You can't step up that far. I don't blame you. You can't step up that far if you're out clawing against the shock.
Apparently, someone was in danger.
And Chubby might be next on the kill count here. KillCamKenny gonna try to put him onto it. Has the shards of ice once again. Crushing wave does escape it. Again, Psythro falls as well. It's a repeat of the first kill there onto the mid laner, but ChubbyOstrich this time does fall thanks to a rotating Codester, but might be in some trouble yourself. Animeceo rotating in, but the bait and switch, but it might have just led him into more danger. Big double stun there, and he's silenced out. Can you make the big Ymir wall play? Only grabs one. AyeGarrett getting a solo kill in the meantime on a KaneTempest. Big shell there, but the rain dance gonna unfortunately dancing on the grave there of KillCamKenny. The support goes down. And now the scoreboard reads 5-5. For this engagement, at the very least, it's been a 2-1. But that 1 was also added to by the Sunbreakers having a nice solo kill there in the duo lane. DrunkDoorDasher, you really might be under the influence if you're going to go back 1v3, my friend. Might have risked the life there of Codester. Needs to get out of that situation. Sam Squared still wants a piece of it. Again, I think you need to realize you're just an Ao Kuang, buddy. Calm down a little bit.
I mean, he's got the breastplate, he's got Death's Toll, he's got half of a Glad Shield. He can take some damage. Now, 1v3 might be
Tall order.
a little out of your mind there, but like he had the right idea. I think he was just looking to see if he could accidentally get somebody into execute range there.
Yeah, he was definitely tempting fate a little bit, but recognizing the limits of his own abilities and of the god with that build, hey, fair play to him. But what's really impressive is the fact that AyeGarrett managed to grab that solo kill onto Kane, and now going to manage to grab, despite the Dark Portal, a nice shield buff around your waist. That wall, unfortunately, a bit off the mark there. KillCamKenny gonna have to eat a spectral aspect for it, but credit for trying. The Ymir, let's talk about that, because that's been... might have to talk about it a bit later, as we do see a rotation come in here from the Ganesha. Seems he might be safe for now, but AyeGarrett's going to decide to optimize back
beads.
in. Rotation from Ibba as well. Dharmic Pillars traps 3. They're all sounds now. Gives them the big shush. And the rotation from Ibba going to be met with the rise to the Pow Lao. Ibba's not chained up, but eats a nice
what a
and
wall.
A big tower shot upon landing. Good freeze there to get a bit more damage onto the Pele. And who's joined the battle? It's Psythro. Big flame wave, bigger flame dash, and DrunkDoorDasher finally finds a solo kill onto the opposing solo. And Psythro's gonna grab the kill onto Kane. Rotating over is now Chubby, a bit late to the party though. Agni's already been doing those numbers. Gonna look for KillCamKenny just to try to melt that ice a little bit, but the big wall gonna grant Psythro that audience he wants with Ibba. Might be one you regret though, buddy. Hobwa gonna try to put out those flames. Big freeze onto Chubby once again. Crushing wave, narrowly evaded. This Ymir's got twinkle toes. Psythro's gonna take down the Hobwa.
Man. Kenny had a couple of walls during that fight.
Some spaghetti on the floor there, but it worked.
That were spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. That wall to save Freya from Ibba was just beautiful.
Yes. Love to see good wall play from Ymir. Man, I'm so happy that this is the Ymir play. So, now with the scoreboard reading 8-5 here, let's give a quick recap of game state before I ask you the all-important question about this Ymir. But 11 minutes in here, it's now starting to be a bit more significant for the Sunbreakers. 3,500 gold to their name, 4,000 XP as well, and it's falling onto targets you want. 2-level disparity for the Freya. You're going to see it right there. You just have to fade away. Can't even contest her. Big level difference as well for the mids. How do we feel like, oh my gosh, Kane, please get back to safety. Even your tower is not going to be a safe zone for you. How do we feel, Ztan? The Ymir has been contributing so far. Where can we see it step up, or is it just doing its job?
No, I think Kenny has done an excellent job on this Ymir. Garrett, on the other hand, may have overstayed his welcome.
It's Nikolajokic. It's going to be the finals MVP of the NBA, trying to bring that damage down here to the Smite Draft League. Garrett gonna have to make sure to amble on out. Does still have Valkyrie's Discretion's going back in fact, to ensure the kill is going to manage to do it. But Nikolajokic gonna put the damage back, manages to grab the very rare Ganesh kill. Fantastic work there to the support. But the kill was grabbed by the one you wanted on. KillCamKenny just gonna decide to go down with the ship with the beacon perhaps. Shards of Ice evaded by Chubby once again, and Jokic is deciding to rotate on in. There's a big volcanic lightning going to melt KillCamKenny down to a crisp. Psythro is still in part of this fight. Codester gonna enter, only to get crushed by the wave. A big powwow, not gonna find anyone but Chubby, but the beats to match, not gonna save his life. Psythro picks up the kill. Rotating in is Sam Squared. Nikolajokic, after tasting blood once, wants it again, but might not be obliged there. You do have the axe down from Animeceo. It's a big rain dance and a big circle slow. Psythro knocked up into a big dark portal onto 2. Gonna continue that silence for a little bit more, but Flourish seems to have their priorities on this beacon. AyeGarrett with a big whoop. Gonna stall that out for a little bit longer. A good bomb stun, and reinforcements have arrived. AyeGarrett on the scene takes down Animeceo, and Coaster's back in alongside the Ymir. Swings favor for the beacon. Back to the Sunbreakers, and Flourish cannot step up any longer. An extended fight leads to an overall W for the Sunbreakers.
Yeah, that traded hands like 3 times.
Yeah.
That was kind of wild. You know, great pressure from Sunbreakers there. Great persistence. Above anything else, you know, they stuck to it. They kept rotating people in. Flourish kept getting lower and lower, and you got it.
But he was trying to get something a little bit more. Codester could be in trouble here, but a great whoop. Once again, without the volcanic lightning, Ibba might not be able to stand up to the basics from AyeGarrett. The water spout misses the mark. The Ymir freeze is on point, and the bombs fall on the head of ChubbyOstrich, bringing him down. Valkyrie's discretion for safety and damage onto Kane. He's been on the receiving end of those a few too many times. Does no longer wants any part of this fight. KillCamKenny, like any good Ymir, chases for the fight, manages to elicit the beads, and the great wall to match. The shards of ice might fall down onto the Izzy. It's gonna be another kill there. Psythro got it technically, but we know who gets credit. KillCamKenny on the Ymir, doing his job.
Yeah, man. Kenny's making this Ymir look very, very good.
Any Ymir is going to look very good, but especially on godlike players like these. Sam Squared gonna find Animeceo underneath the tier 2 with the execute. Codester 1v2ing, just gonna throw 3 chains onto this elephant, put him back inside the pillars of his own making, but might be in trouble here. The cut's doing too much damage. Psythro on the rampage picks up Jokic as well. Uh-oh, this could be troublesome, though. Sam Squared, an unfortunate blink going to result in his end at the hands of Chubby. Wasn't quite aware that the Habwa was lurking in wait underneath the tier 1 tower. Flourish grants themselves a bit more pressure with that move, but still, the scoreboard at 15 minutes reads 16-8. A skyrocketed goal lead, gonna try to put it back in their favor. Crushing Wavesman Aegis met with the Ymir freeze, the Ymir wall. Psythro grabs that kill as well.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed. Ymir, baby.
Oh, no.
Ymir, baby. Everyone needs to play this god. Everyone play this god.
Aegis strikes again.
Yeah, but really it was Ymir, you know? No, it was a very well timed. These players on Sunbreakers have been very conservative, I've noticed, with their abilities, with their... All right, and a Genji's guard. Okay, fine. Like, we can credit... We can credit those things, too. But... Oh, wait, that's on the other side. Anyway, Noob is trying to distract us, but... The real thing to talk about here is, one, Sunbreakers' conservative play with their relics and abilities, but also the fact that they've got a Pyromancer and they're extending this lead. They are killing it with this comp. What can Flourish do to come back?
Yeah, this lead is starting to extend into like 6K territory. You know, with this tower falling down, gonna be even more. This is approaching the uh-oh territory. You know, this is the point where you start having a whole half an item online, you know, as compared to your opposition. This is where Sunbreakers can really start looking to team fight here.
Oh god, you don't even need a team, you just need AyeGarrett. Gonna pick up Tempest for the killing spree on the Freya. Late games arrived early, my friends. Best be careful should this Freya come knocking at you with those pulses and irradiates. But Sunbreakers, man, just unabated aggression on their part. They're stepping it up. It's been the mid-game now. We saw early game, things were quite slow for a time, but now Sunbreakers deciding this is their golden hour to step up. Might be looking for this tier 1 tower on the left side as well. As far as just individual play from Flourish, who do we think's the hope for them to just find the flaws and abuse the weaknesses of Sunbreakers comp? Might have been answered right there for me. Ibba with a big shutdown there on a Psythro. That's important.
Yeah, that is a big kill right there going on to Ibba. You know, he's now a level over that Daji. If I'm Flourish here, first thing I'm looking to do is to get Chubby and Kane farm. Habwa is level 14. Izzy is level 14.
Yeah.
You know, Chalk, for the record, is also level 14. But you need farm for this Habwa and this Izanami. You've got to get them caught up, and you have got to get them able to kill this Freya.
Yeah. I will say, it's a very well-known fact that Ibba's playstyle oftentimes is about putting the team on your back. It's about grabbing a lot of farm for yourself. You're seeing that here. Highest level in the entire game, either team, at 18. And you're going to be trying to get some individual hero plays here. And while that can be rough for you, I actually do, in some matters, like that on this comp, because Flourish can accomplish a lot of their god's purposes without the damage. I'd say Hubwa excluded. You know, you have the pillars, you have the Ohm, you have the mass silence from the shock. There's a lot of ways to open up the board for Ibba to just volcanic lightning, spin like Palpatine on in, and just finish the job yourself.
Yeah, Flourish definitely have a good team fight. You know, one thing that my early predictions were not predicated on was the play of Kenny. Kenny has been spectacular on this Ymir.
I expected it.
And, you know, it is very hard to fight into a good Ymir.
Which is every Ymir. But yes, I have to agree. KillCamKenny has even surpassed my expectations as they grab a nice Fury to their name as well on the side of Sunbreakers. Objective domination, structure domination, all their tier 1s still stand, none for Flourish. They only have tier 2s left. It's looking like Sunbreakers' game to win at this point. Flourish do have answers back. Once Hubwa starts to catch up a little bit in levels, it's going to be a bit of an issue. But in my crystal ball, I don't see that happening for some time here, Ztan. Do we, as far as initiating fights, do we let Sunbreakers take the lead foot, or do we try to find maybe some guerrilla scraps in the jungle? What's our way back in as far as the fight strategy goes?
Well, I mean, your lead's pushing about 8K now. You know, if I'm Sunbreakers here, I'm just moving to take this Fire Giant. It is unlikely that Flourish are going to be able to post a good fight around it this far down. If I'm Flourish, we're taking any of the farm we can get on the map, and you're really just kind of hoping that Sunbreakers in their aggression make a mistake.
Yeah. Well, I do like what Sunbreakers are doing right now, which is going for safe objectives first. I'm not going to lie. I like the idea of, yes, you need to push that lead, just keep Flourish in the dirt, but my fear for the FG, as we see Izanami actually trying to get some structure wins back her way with this left side split push. The fear with the FG is that you got the most damaging ability in the game. But Codester might be the most damaging god in this one. Gonna find out as Kane, as Codester goes on the rampage, takes out the Izzy. KillCamKenny's on the front lines, just where you want to see him. Chubby takes a nice bomb stun. Some decent damage there. The Storm Call not going to quite find its mark onto Psythro, who might just be the primary target. A Water Spout going to find his back. Big silence for the crushing wave. Once again, the Twinkle Toes will succeed. The bomb's been dropped, as well as from the Agni, but the Agni's been dropped as well. AyeGarrett goes down. DrunkDoorDasher finds the execute onto ChubbyOstrich. Coaster's now in the fray, has a shield around your belt, but might not be enough here against the aggressing forces. Big stun there from KillCamKenny, but unfortunately the Shards of Ice will not find the back of Ibba. Coaster takes him down though with the powwow. Feels emboldened to continue the fight. 2v1. Nikolajokic can't do much about it. KillCamKenny's gonna enter the fray. It's a split fight, but one they certainly feel comfortable in taking. Codester is unstoppable, takes down Animeceo.
Yeah, the beginning of that fight went great for Flourish.
What happened?
Well, Hubwa did exactly what you need Hubwa to do. Hubwa got his ultimate off into 4 people.
Oh
and Ibba was able to come in, clean it up. Problem was, Codester returned, and, you know, the fight quickly got out of hand. Ao Kuang took out Hubwa on the back end, which that was fine. You know, Hubwa's already done what he needed to do. His damage was done. It led to the first 2 kills, and that's what you really have the Hubwa for, is that initial burst.
Yeah.
But they just kept pushing it, and I really feel like I would have liked to have seen Flourish kind of back off after those first 2 kills, take their win, and go get more farm.
I think you make a really great point there. And we think about the Beacon fight as well. That's where things went wrong. It was an extended fight. We liked how it went for Flourish at first, and like you said, it changed hands several times. Seems that whenever a fight goes on for too long, as Sunbreakers grab themselves a 22-minute FG here on all 5 members, seems that whenever that fight goes any longer than maybe 1 minute, 30 seconds even, it's going to be Sunbreakers' game to win here. ChubbyOstrich is going to be in a bit of trouble, has to use a crushing wave defensively, but pulled back in without that CC immunity. It's going to be curtains. There goes ChubbyOstrich. Underneath the tower now, Sunbreakers are emboldened to continue their push. Uses a Storm Call just to get a bit of space back, but there's a big ultimate offline here. Only Volcanic Lightning and Dark Portal still up. Sunbreakers might just look to tank and spank this Phoenix down next. Understanding those tools are down for a bit longer here. Dharmic Pillars are also not going to be a factor. And we have DrunkDoorDasher is going to be leading the charge. That Ao Kuang, like you said, awfully tanky. Gonna have to be careful. Anime CEO finding that out. DrunkDoorDasher, though, despite the tank, is gonna put on the spank. Anime CEO goes down, so does KaneTempest. AyeGarrett finding the kill on the shock is very crucial. It might opt for a potential end call here. They're just gonna try to initiate KillCamKenny, trying to poke the bear, as one might say. DrunkDoorDasher just going to try to frontline a bit as well, but Ibba dives the backline and takes down the Freya. KillCamKenny going to find the Ibba in return. Solid kill there for the Ymir. Love to see it on that, but without the Freya, I'm not sure if you quite have the ability to take down the Titan. It seems that Sunbreakers recognize that. DrunkDoorDasher at this point just wants souls. A beads is not going to be quite put on at the right time, but the execute is certainly on the mark. There goes Jokic. Can you find the kill in the fountain? You're crazy! Certainly is living up to the name. Is a bit tipsy there trying to get out of there, my friend. You might need to walk yourself home. Call an Uber. Psythro's got to escort you back. They're on the heavy chase, though. Flourish might not be able to catch up at this rate. Sunbreakers going to secure themselves a mid-Phoenix, a nice beacon to their name, but unfortunately, not quite get the end call.
Yeah, I think that end call might have been a bit ballsy. You've still got 2 towers remaining, you know, one on duo, one on solo. That Titan's still got a fairly egregious amount of health. Your Freya was low. I don't really love that end call there. I think that was more wishful thinking. I don't think there's really any way that you take that at that point. But they got what they came for. They got the FG. They got a bird. Not necessarily the optimal bird, but they got a bird. You know, maybe at this point, look to get this Gold Fury. Maybe even push to clean up another tower and get ready for this next FG.
Right now, the question, as we see some pings come out here from Flourish, is going to be on this Titan clash, which is coming down the solo lane side here. Fury going to be left alone for now, which I agree with. You want to make sure you don't give Flourish a way back in, and having a big siege juggernaut, so we sprinkle some salt, season our plays a little bit there, Sunbreakers. That last one was looking a bit bland, but we're going to be looking for this Titan clash as a potential means for either team to either, if it's Sunbreakers, continue their domination, or Flourish find some momentum back. Who do we think is going to be having the lead foot here, or do we think that we just let the Titan fall on the side of Flourish, as they seem to be opting for?
I think Flourish need to be very careful here. You know, you look at the item bars for both sides, and pretty consistently there is almost a full item lead on almost every character on Sunbreakers.
Yeah.
You know, with the exception of the dodgy Pele, the Pele is in fact ahead in that department. Yeah. But I think Flourish need to be very careful here, because getting wiped is going to end the game.
And they were going to try to lead off with that foot. Ibba, though, ahead in items, are going to find the kill as well. Really prove it to the jungler. I am the better one. Takes down Codester for quite some time. Do Sunbreakers continue the push is the question. Seems they've lost their will to fight here. And that solo kill over there in the duo lane is going to be immensely impactful for deciding that Sunbreakers can no longer push. The Titan will fall at the threshold of that right side Phoenix.
Yeah, that was a great defense from Flourish, and it's exactly what you want to see if you're, you know, looking at Flourish here. This is kind of what I was talking about. Like, let's not do anything crazy. You know, there's a bird already down. We don't want to get wiped here, but yeah, Ibba got that kill. They got a lot of poke off onto DoorDasher. They really did a good job of defending and not overcommitting.
That was what you needed. And it's also specializing once again in what we mentioned earlier, the fact that Flourish's comp, yes, it has teamfight elements, but is also very adept at these 1v1s. And Ibba, certainly with that play style of making sure to get all the farm you can, just get big early, is also going to be very adept in that category. So playing to your strengths is what you need to do here. KaneTempest is going to try to put on a few more for that note and take down Sam squared. Low for health there. Have to imagine that was a bit of a scrap, but survives and gets the kill.
Yeah, if you're Sunbreakers, that is not what you wanted to see. This does give Flourish an advantage with this fire, but they're not all there yet. Now they know what's going on and they're making their way. Yeah, Sunbreakers are peeling off of it. You know, they're down a man. Flourish are in the advantage here. I would kind of like to see Flourish push for a pick and maybe move on this fire.
It seems they're going to try to at least leash, maybe make Sunbreakers fear that option, but they're getting a bit too hungry, a bit too early. No baits quite yet. The wall going to save KillCamKenny's life, but they had all their attentions on AyeGarrett. Could be in trouble. Valkyrie's discretion grants you a bit more damage there onto KaneTempest. Brought down with the quickness, but Ibba's in the backline doing what Ibba does best, slaughtering any squishy members and toes. Psythro goes down. Codester's low. AyeGarrett's going to try to take some swipes there. Jokic, who will survive. Egg is put down, but can it save you? Not from ChubbyOstrich. Ibba finds the double in the back on a Codester, but gobbled up as payback from the DrunkDoorDasher. Had them munchies. Wants a bit more. Dives in for seconds. Chubby goes down as well. Animeceo, I don't know what you're jumping about, my friend. That Dragon Call must certainly hurt. And DrunkDoorDasher's perfectly fine with chasing down his food. But with the Rain Dance, as well as the ability to just teleport on back to Jokic, seems the shock will be fine for now. Big silence, they're going to deny a bit more of that pressure. But at this point, DrunkDoorDasher just going to be swinging that sword for fun's sake. Overall, Flourish do end up getting a 3-for-3 trade, but they might lose the Phoenix nonetheless, with only their front line still standing. Sam squared and KillCamKenny going to take that one out, but with KaneTempest back in the fight, could be troublesome here. Animeceo's looking a bit low, but KillCamKenny's looking lower there. Eats the Storm Call, eats the damage from the Izanami. DrunkDoorDasher has to try to exit stage right. Water Illusion gives you a bit more distance. Seems that the Ao Kuang might be safe for now.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I love that push from DoorDash and Kenny there. You know, EFG is about to spawn.
Wait, this could be a crazy engage. He actually manages to get it. The sneaky play there. Psythro tries to throw some bombs over the wall just to finish the job on the anime, but overall, it's a solo for carry trade. How do we feel about that as well, Ztan? Add it to the list.
Well, you know, I was about to say that the death on the Kenny had given Flourish a massive advantage moving into this EFG fight. And now Flourish are down a carry. So, you know, here we are. All of my predictions are just kind of out the window.
They're down a Pyro, too. It's going to be a rough one. I gotta say. I mean, Sunbreakers here, they've, I think, now fallen victim to a bit of what we saw from Flourish, some overextension, but I like DrunkDoorDash's move, man. He really just swerved into the jungle just to try to find any kill he could. Truly a stealthy man's. Gonna be able to pick up that kill on a KaneTempest, which just means that the game's kind of flatlined for a bit longer here. But you have to imagine, Ztan, pressure's going to once again be put back on this EFG. What are we looking for from each team to succeed in this upcoming fight?
Well, if I'm Flourish, I'm probably looking to let Sunbreakers pull and to try and defend. Everyone on the Sunbreakers side has a full build right now. And so a straight up fight might not be in your best interest. If I'm Sunbreakers, we're just kind of looking to pick and kill somebody here.
Have to wonder who that's going to be. My money's on Ostrich. Take down the bird, and you have a lot less damage to worry about. But who's to say here? Seems at the moment, at least, Flourish are willing to just kind of play back a little bit. And without the blinking gauge from the Ymir, it's going to be a bit harder for them to find easy initiation. Going to try to have a nice little pincer movement, but denied by the knock-up there. Big wall, going to force a hasty retreat here from the front line, but a big bomb stun to match. ChubbyOstrich, though, going to be under some pressure, but not so much as DoorDasher. Going to have to retreat back with Heavenly Agility, but big damage here from AyeGarrett. Eliminates the front line with the quickness. Takes to the sky for the triple kill onto Ibba, but you might be in trouble. Beads and Aegis to match. It's not going to be enough. Chubby grabs a double of their own. Not before Psythro finishes off that mid. Here's a big Beads and Aegis of your own there. It's not going to save you. Double for double for double. It's a deicide here for the Sunbreakers.
This could be all she wrote.
I would have to say so. And you know what it's from, Ztan? KillCamKenny. Look at that man ambling down. It truly was a song of ice and fire. Flourish couldn't stand the heat, and like a flower have wilted and crumpled underneath the hail and sleet. Winter has indeed come. The Sunbreakers take game one.
We're not going to hear the end of this about the Ymir, are we?
No, we're not. This game has been certified approved by Deelo. I'll tell you that much. Man, Ztan, talk to me about game 1.
Man, you know, a lot to say. Sunbreakers definitely did better in the early game. They got a lead. They pushed it. They held it. Flourish definitely kind of tried to make a comeback there. They had some good plays. They had some good defenses. And that's something they can kind of build on going into game 2. You know, if I'm Flourish looking to game 2, maybe we take Chubby off of the Habwa. Maybe put him on something like the Kukulkan, the Tiamat. You know, maybe even the Agni, the Baba Yaga. Something with a little more safety and still good damage output. You know, Ibba had a fantastic performance on the Pele. Sunbreakers just kind of got a couple of picks, won a fight, got a deicide, and pushed the game down. By no means was that just a rollover for Flourish. So, like, moving into game 2, there's definitely stuff they can build on.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, there's some solid plays that we thought individually. Honestly, I liked some of the plays that ChubbyOstrich was making on that Hobwall, but unfortunately, in the face of the power of Ymir, that water is going to be frozen, smashed to bits every single time. But I think they also had some other good elements. I liked the double silence a lot. It was a huge thorn in the side of the Sunbreakers. They really had to make sure that they were being careful to get their damage off at the right time. But when you have a Freya who's very basic reliant, once you pop that Irradiate and Pulse, I don't need any abilities anymore. But with that being said, we got another game coming at you in just a moment. We're going to be right back after a short break, and we'll get right into the exciting game 2. Hopefully, we'll see another Ymir. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Smite Draft League, where the Ymir plays are cold, but the games are oh so hot. I'm Deelo, once again joined here by Ztan. Ztan, game 2, man, P's and B's coming up. What are we looking for as far as changes on either side?
I'm looking for anything that does not subject me to further torment of relentless Ymir puns.
Okay, understandable. Anything else?
No, like I was saying at the right before we went to the break, I'd like to see Chubby on something other than Habwa, something that's got some safety, something that's got some good ranged poke. Really, I think that's the biggest change you need to make for Flourish. Sunbreakers, you won, nothing wrong, don't fix it.
I mean, you might have to fix it, because Flourish is going to fix it for you. They're going to say, no more Freya, we do not want to deal with that magical carry nonsense. I can't blame them. AyeGarrett was doing so much damage. Even in the early game was picking up solo kills in the duo, which is a bit crazy against an Izzy. So can't blame Flourish for respecting their opponent there. Sunbreakers need to find a new way around this duo lane.
Yeah, I mean, Freya's strong, and when you have somebody capable of playing the Freya well, it's usually in your interest to get rid of it before it gets picked.
Yeah, and Sunbreaker's going to just stay with the typical. Kali off the map here, can't blame them for that. You know what I want to see. I want to see Ymir, but I will say what I want as a change is just don't pick it second. Like, I respect the fact that they still somehow managed to make it work, even with counter picks coming from Flourish, but they'll have an even better game plan around this time for it. And they're also opting to try to just get rid of some frontline at the get-go, which I do respect. The frontline was a big problem from the Sunbreakers, whether it be Sam Square, DrunkDoorDasher, just kind of milling about, finding executes where he could, seemingly just at whim with that one play he had against Kane. So they're looking to just get him off of gods that could be really even more potentially annoying. Sunbreakers, however, are going to continue their deforestation policy as Bakasura is off the map.
Yeah, Baka's just one of those gods, man. It's almost impossible to get him behind. He farms so well, he invades so well. He's always got that kill potential, moving into the team fights, especially those early team fights where people are just getting ults and Baka can just kind of walk in and regurgitate. Nobody wants to deal with that.
Yeah. And Sunbreaker is going to continue that line of thought with the Anubis ban as well. You know what this leaves on the board, though, that was banned out in Game 1? It's going to be Artikaros joining the side of Flourish.
So I almost am wondering if that's going to Chubby in the mid lane.
Potentially. Oftentimes I feel like I've seen it more in the mid lane. Okay, that's fun. Sunbreaker is going to go with a Freaky Friday pick here and pick up the Pele for themselves.
Honestly, after Eva's performance on it, they put their first 3 bans into just absurdly strong jungle gods. Well, Set, you could make the argument for mid, but you didn't have room to ban Pele. Play it.
Take pleasure in the crushing of one's
Okay,
enemies.
unless they decided to... Whoa, they went back in time and changed everything completely. It's actually going to be the Ravana pick. I mean, I like the idea of taking the god away from the player who's gotten a pentakill on it, but overall, Ravana is a very strong choice, one that was not taken out in this slew of first wave bans that we did see banned away Game 1 and the second wave. They're going to opt for their solo laner first, or potentially jungler.
Yeah, it could be either, and realistically, the build isn't wildly different. So, whichever way you want to go with it, it works. That shield is just accursed.
Ztan, as he, with a deep sigh, recalls just games upon games of being bullied by Ravana's. It's okay, buddy. We'll leave you to your thoughts. You can reflect on those past L's that you might have taken.
There's enough of them. Trust me.
I apologize for you're gonna have to unfortunately watch him for a bit longer. But Sunbreaker's gonna add to that tally of damage here with a nice on her pick. Flourish gonna counter that out with a Ganesh taken to the front line.
Yeah, I like the on her. I like the Ganesh. I really like the on her.
Tell me why.
I think on her is really, really good right now. You know, since the TTK changes and the kind of bruiser meta shift, gods with inherent pin in their kits have become kind of a staple.
Makes sense.
And On Her just does that really well. You know, he gets a free executioner proc out of his passive. Like, he's strong. And the nice thing about his passive and executioner is that you're buffing the damage of all the other physical gods on your team to that target too. You're buffing the damage to objectives. Like, I really enjoy the On Her. Ares is a pick that I think has been slept on for a little bit now.
It's seeing a resurgence.
Ares is good. Ares is good.
Yeah. After those buffs that we've seen taken to, like you have the, I forget what the 2 is called, but you have the 2 that has a more significant buff at level 1 when you invest in that ability. It's not going to be doing nothing, which is very useful for those early game groupings of you and your carry. So hopefully going to be providing some love there to your kitty cat, but Flourish going to counter it out with a very annoying con of their own. Loki joins the battle. What are our thoughts on how that slots in?
It's been a while since I've seen a Loki.
Wish I could say it's been too much time, but can't say I would say that exactly. It's going to be a bit of a frustrating one here for the Sunbreakers. What are your thoughts on how Flourish are thinking about this Loki and what its game plan is going to be?
I mean, Loki does one of two things. You know, he can go in and effectively one-shot a single person.
Yep.
Or he can split push. Those are really your effective options with Loki. So presumably that's what they will look to do here.
Yeah.
It's not good or bad. It simply is.
Loki.
You know, it's a Loki.
It's simply a Loki. That's about as much as you can say about any of these picks. But hopefully on these godlike players, on Ibba especially, is going to be very maneuverable, going to be very capable of getting that farm that we know Ibba loves to acquire. Sunbreaker is going to counter that with hopefully a bit of safety on the Merlin. Flicker does grant you a good get out of jail free card for most cases. But Flourish, with some more CC on the board here in the form of the Guan Yu and the Disco, have rounded out their comp.
I really like that Disco pick. I know I was talking, you know, a minute ago about kind of wanting to see Chubby on something that, you know, wasn't the Habwa. Disco's got a lot better safety than the Habwa. She's got, you know, great cooldown reduction with that 3. She's got lockdown. She's got a good ult. I really like this pick.
And I really like the Bastet pick, only for the way that I can just consistently reference Rihanna's song S&M, because chains and whips, man, excite me. Sunbreakers have got a solid comp. I've got puns for days, bro. It ain't going to stop. You chose the C2 with me. Anyway, I like the pick here. It's going to be great for good CC, good beads burning. I will say, without, though, those 2 ultimates, the Huntress of Bast and the No Escape, unless you get land some really good pillar stuns, it might be a bit hard to burn those ultimates. And Flourish has a few CC immune ones to their name between the Death from Above and the Cavalry Charge and the Assassinate if it lands on a target. There's some ways for them to make sure they're not getting caught in these very obvious CC channels before they land on you. So hopefully Sunbreakers are going to find some good pillar stuns, find some good means of burning those beads before they heavily engage with those big ults.
Yeah, I mean, your obvious target, if you're Sunbreakers here, is going to be Marticarus in these team fights. He's pretty unanimously going to be the easiest one to kill or force the ult from.
Yes.
If I don't know, man. I kind of like Flourish's comp here. If Loki can find his way to make Merlin have a bad day on the back end of these fights, I think Sunbreaker's comp has the potential to really struggle. However, if they're keeping that Merlin alive and he's able to cast, Sunbreakers have a strong team fight.
Indeed they do. The field's been set. Our players have their gods on tap, and though it's not a Ymir, I still nonetheless am excited for Game 2. Ztan, let's get right into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Smite Draft League. Week 6 here. Godlike division between Flourish and Sunbreakers. Sunbreakers coming off the heels of a very nice victory to their name, thanks to some nice Ymir dominance. Now, switching up the support, switching up the comp in general. Ztan, when it comes to just the game plan here for the early, we thought Sunbreakers had it in Game 1. Is it the same story here in Game 2?
I don't think so. No, I think Flourish have a pretty good advantage in pressure here with this Marticarus. Anher is not known for having the best clear in the world, so he should kind of struggle there. Mid lane's going to be anybody's game. Merlin's got excellent clear. Disco also has very good clear. It's going to be a little more up to how these two play it.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think Psythro had such a fantastic performance on the Agni. I'm honestly a bit sad. I mean, obviously you couldn't play it. It was banned out. But I'm sad to see Psythro on a god that's a bit less setup oriented. But you don't need setup if you can just do the damage. Burned down as IbbaWasTaken was the soul of the jungler by Codester. Nice first blood there. Once again, goes to the Sunbreakers.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy
yeah,
indeed.
That's a first blood and nearly a second on Kane. Kane. Oh,
he's
no.
going back in with the chains. Doesn't have the flames, though, and that's going to guarantee the life of Kane for now. You needed some follow-up there. You need some more abilities. Codester's lurking around the side here. You don't have ultimate, though, buddy. I'm not sure what you quite intend on doing without it. It's going to be a bit of a difficult sell. You have the blink, but an up-down is not going to spare you from all the tower shots you'll be eating. Waiting for Flourish to get a bit overconfident. Kane frolicking, jumping, not quite aware of what's going on potentially, as Codester decides to amble in from stage right. But they're now maybe aware of the scene here. Kane's going to try to jump back, but the blink to match has the beads as well as the silence provided by Nikolajokic. Good chain and flame there, going to force the shell as well. A lot of relics off of Flourish, but the lives still stand.
Yeah, that was pretty good play from Kane and Nikola there. You know, they had the ward. They knew Ravana was there. It did cost Marty his beads, but, you know, thankfully he's kind of at a point in the game where that's not the biggest deal. It's likely that they'll be back up before he needs them again. Maybe unless Ares ults, but by that time he should have his own CC immune ult to get out of that with.
Yeah.
So good safe play from them there, you know, kind of recognizing that Marty's immobile.
Yeah, they're trying to do exactly what you said, which is recognize the priority target. But there was a bit of an opportunity cost, you might say, if we're going back to Econ here, elementary school. And that's the fact that Ibba went to that right side jungle of the Sunbreakers and grabbed those back harpies, now putting the Ravana on the back foot, despite having first blood. Might grab some more blood to your name, though, because Sam's got the kitty cat. Animeceo, though, not quite allergic. Gonna live with less than 8 health.
6. It was 6 health. He had 6. Ladies, gentlemen, oh my.
Jesus. One more scratch would have done it, but going to remain alive, to his credit, Anime can take a big sigh of relief.
A stiff breeze would have blown him over at that point. that was close. That was about as close as you get.
Yeah, but you know what's not close? The level disparity between those two characters. Now already, less than 4 minutes in, it's a 2-level lead. How does that even happen?
Guan had to have missed a wave somewhere. That's a pretty big XP difference for 4 minutes in.
Not how you want to be seeing it allocated, and it's going to result in a bit more pressure here. Guan Yu does not do well in the laning phase whatsoever, but like the shock, will bring the contributions in those later fights. Ibba and Codester both posturing little by little, but Ibba's waiting for Codester to make the first move. Will oblige, put some damage here on Nikolajokic, but the damage in return from Ibba is going to be good on a Psythro. Mystic Rush has been expended. Big no escape, though. Grabs 3, pulls in 2. Brana Onslaught going to find the kill on the support, and the chains are going to find Ibba, but the flames might not quite be enough to burn down the Loki this time. He'll live for now. The scoreboard now reads 2-1. Flourish put themselves on the board. KillCamKenny just going to get some nice chaining target practice. That bodes well for the future if they can keep hitting him like that.
Oh man, if that isn't, part of the story of the first game, that was a great play from Flourish and a better play from Kenny.
Yeah, you got to make sure that you're just watching out for this guy. I love Kenny. Like, honestly, as far as like top 5 supports go, Ares has got to be in there for me as well. So me and him got to talk or something. But this guy, I think, has learned his God pull from me, but has not learned his gameplay from me because it's actually pretty dang solid. Meanwhile, here in the duo lane, AyeGarrett versus KaneTempest, but gonna make it a 2v1 handicap match. Takes to the sky, low mana though now, and the chains are still following him. You're not immune to that damage. Pillar gonna slow him down for a bit longer. Can you find the impale to grant yourself the kill? Finishes it off on the back end. AyeGarrett gonna take down KaneTempest for a nice and clean double, well, 2-on-1, not quite the double, but a nice and clean kill there for the honor.
Yeah, Marty is being punished here for being Marty.
As he should be.
One of the reasons you have kind of been seeing Marty more in the duo lane is that he suffers from the AMC syndrome.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of mobility there outside of the ult. AMC at least has his hives. He can kind of traverse the lane quickly. Marty doesn't really have that option. He does have the movement speed out of the bush, but that's it.
Yeah.
If you need movement outside of that, you are either dying or burning your ult. And, duo lane's a pretty long lane. And so that's why I think you've been seeing a lot more of him in mid, is he's easier to position in mid than he is in the duo lane.
Very fair point, but AyeGarrett's got to watch his positioning. Caught in the midst of 2. Ibba going to find that kill. KillCamKenny not happy about that. Going to chain up the Marty. Third chain gonna match. Might be able to kill it with the flames too. Coaster's gonna arrive for the cheeky kill steal, and the no escape is going to be to no avail. KillCamKenny still happy to share though. Very good show of friendship there. Codester, bad sport there, my friend. Let the Ares have his accolades.
Do you remember that time when I said Ares is kind of cracked right now?
Yeah, please go on.
Yeah. It's something. The chain damage is absurd. The buff from the 2 is crazy. If Ares is landing his stuff, he's doing a lot of damage. He's giving out a lot of aura protections. He's making these team fights extremely difficult. Big fan of that god right now.
Me as well, but you already knew that, Ztan. I will say, the one thing that an Ares does lack is a bit of easy peel without that no escape, and even that's pretty delayed. Have to watch out if you want to make sure you're winning these fights, but why get peel when you just have more friends arrive to the battle? Psythro's pretty low from the pillars, but ChubbyOstrich gonna dash in with the erratic behavior to finish off the kill, knowing their life was lost. Codester gonna pick it up off the back end. DrunkDoorDasher almost takes down Anime again, but a rotation from Ibba will be good this time. AyeGarrett underneath significant pressure from the death from above. Gonna play Ring Around the Rosie around this pillar. Fun game, but AyeGarrett might not stand to win it. Gonna decide to push KaneTempest away. He doesn't play nice, but because of that, no mercies afforded to the Lion. Martikaros wins this battle of the jungle.
As he does most one-on-one matchups, yeah. Marty's extremely hard to box, even for an on-her who does very, very well in the boxing department.
Yep.
That damage output, with the Bluestone, the passive ability lifesteal that he gets, that Soul Eater that he's got, it's a lot to overcome. If I'm on her, I don't think I'm engaging Marty at this phase in the game.
I mean, you just gotta watch out for Ibba. Ibba's been so great at facilitating on both sides of the map. So many kills, but even then, still in trouble there. It was a solo kill that got it. KillCamKenny gonna find another kill here in the mid lane. Animeceo having to use the horse to retreat back to safety. Yeah, I have to agree. Unless you have the rotation coming in from outside sources, KillCamKenny was the reason why you grabbed that kill onto the Marty in the first place. Don't forget the contributions your support is making, and definitely don't forget about that Huntress of Bast. Animeceo gonna have to dodge that to ensure your life remains in tow. Ibba could be in some trouble here. Has the pincer movement, has the chains. Ooh, the 10-hand Shadow Fist missing could be what allows Ibba to live this one. Coaster's got to get that aim on lock, but here 10 minutes into the game, still looking pretty solid here for the Sunbreakers. 5-6 frees the scoreboard to their name, leaves the kills, and 2,000 gold lead as well. Pretty solid XP, same story. But this time around, Ibba actually even with Codester. Might find that out. Not quite the best time to poke someone out. Excellent up-down to dodge the assassination. And that's going to allow Codester to retreat back with his life in tow and an ultimate off the Loki. Uh-oh, Big Apple going to miss the mark as well. A lot of ultimates being dropped on a Codester here. But hey, he's happy about that if he's got those fancy feet. Manages to get out to safety. AyeGarrett, though, gotta watch that positioning because those ultimates are going to be good. You don't have the same juke shoes that my man's purchased on Codester. KaneTempest takes down the Lion once again.
Am I the only one that looks at that Marty ult and just thinks that it lasts a really long time?
You certainly are not, my friend. I promise you, you are not.
Oh, man. It's so many procs. Good rotation there for Flourish. They got the pick up onto the Onher again. Marty's now got a 2-level lead. Onher has been put to 1 and 3. He hasn't finished stacking the Devos yet. Soul Eater's fully stacked on Marty. Trans just got bought. Marty has got a solid lead that they can look to kind of throw around in some of these team rotations.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it over this first fight for the Beacon.
That's likely where you might. And Marty's so annoying for Beacon fights. The grass patches allow for so much area control because you just really don't know where anyone's lying. And when you have a Loki as well, it's only going to be more frustrating. But where we see a big lead here for the Sunbreakers, and it's been consistent throughout the game, it's on this Bastet. Do you think we see solo rotations come out minute 12?
I definitely think you're going to see one from Bastet. I will be honest, I am a little surprised at how badly Bastet is out pressuring Guan here. Guan's clear is decent. His sustain is good. Bastet is just really having a field day over here, and it may be due to the Trans Soul Eater.
Yeah, I mean, they're stacking it up. Gonna try to stack up some bodies here. Animeceo might be the first on the pile of corpses. No escape. Might find the last damage you need. Not quite. And the cavalry charge will CC immune it for now. ChubbyOstrich has to use the beads to match the Huntress of Bast. Apple gonna find its way onto no one. There's a big Dark Pillars, but who does it find? AyeGarrett gets taken out by Ibba on the left side, but KaneTempest not under quite as much pressure as his counterpart, KillCamKenny. Doesn't have quite the ability to kill as a Ymir might. Has to retreat back with a chain on the elephant, but now 4 members speeding their way down. Might try to find the support themselves, but a big blink there from Codester finishes the job on a KaneTempest. Ibba is going to be joining the fight soon if they don't retreat back. Sunbreakers need to take what they've gotten and get back to that beacon if they so wish to live. But it's already been dropped, actually, in fact. Did you even see who grabbed it, Ztan? I must have been Loki or something, because that guy was a stealthy beacon grab there. I'm not even sure who nabbed it.
I believe it was Sunbreakers. I believe they got it before that fight even broke out in earnest.
It seems that they're just going to continue the motive that they had in game 1, which is objective domination here. But at the very least, the kills are a lot more even than they were prior at this point. Now 13 minutes in, 7-7. Gold lead, can't quite say the same. Sunbreakers still 3k ahead. But what's great, I will say, is that there's not nearly as big of a disparity in the jungles between Codester and the Loki. You had before, I think, like a 3-level lead at this point. But they might try to extend that here. Ibba going to show some face, put some pressure back on this Bastet, who's been such a thorn in their side. As far as just Flourish's teamfight strategy, we got a little bit of a sampler there. How are we liking it? What do we think we need to kind of tighten up on to ensure our victories in the future?
Well, if you're Ganesh here, you're gonna have to basically babysit Morticarus. It's just gonna have to happen. Marty is gonna get dove. Chubby is getting run at by Kenny.
KillCamKenny is just so effective. No escape gonna have to be used there. And the Apple to counter it. Chubby pulled back in, taken out by Psythro. Rotation from the cavalry charge here. Ibba's joined the scene as well. Gonna try to find the assassinate, but doesn't quite get and he kills off it. Big leap there from Codester. The up down there on the Mystic Rush. Gonna find one before Ibba grabs a double on AyeGarrett. It's a slaughterhouse here for the Loki. Should they just try to find more damage, but KillCamKenny gonna try to chain up any frontline that tries to step up to Psythro. Seems we're going to be left content with the 2-for-2 here. Each team stands just, once again, even grounds here on the kill board, 9-9.
Yeah, you know, if I'm Ibba, honestly, I might kind of be looking to go after this Bastet here. You know, she's got Bluestone, Soul Eater, Trans, working into one of the katanas. The one thing I don't see on her is any defense. So,
yeah.
You know, you can kind of look to end that reign of terror pretty quickly. She should go down pretty easily.
Seems that as far as going down quite frequently, Flourish always have to watch out for Chubby, like you said. Might be a job of babysitting as well. The Disco on top of the Marty. Ganesh certainly got his hands full, but has 4 arms if I'm not mistaken, so you can hold a baby in each one and still slash them with those little daggers. So hopefully going to be managing the synergy with that God pick. But now, KaneTempest. Familiar story for you, my friend. You've been underneath these chains before, but the Pillar Stun not quite good there. That's going to allow, at least for now, the Marty to continue to survive. Flourish trying to bait out something with this Pyro pickup. Cavalry Charge not going to quite find the back of the Bastet. Animeceo just going to have to retreat back with a Talal Assault. And for right now, it's a bit of a nothing burger in the mid lane.
You know, in fact, I'd say that Impale just considerably helped Kane in that situation.
And Flourish
does look like Flourish are going to take the Pyro, though.
Big hundreds of Bast on Animeceo, but not going to retreat into anyone. Sunbreakers with a big steal there. DoorDasher just going to grab some extra munchies on the go. Fantastic work by the Bastet. Not only a bully in the solo lane, but just anywhere they decide to walk, Flourish cannot escape the kitty cat.
So one thing I'm noticing, you know, Sunbreakers are at an almost 5k gold lead.
Yep.
You've got 2 Soul Leaders being built. You've got an in-kit heal from Ravana. You've got Devo gloves on her. Flourish, I need to see some anti-heal.
Maybe they think it's the Marty's enough, but I don't, like, you have that built-in anti-heal, but who do you want to see that come out on then in that case? What kind of items do we want to maybe see being built out here?
You know, it looks like Guan Yu may be going into the Pestilence, so, you know, good on them. You could definitely look to pick up that or the Contagion. Divine Ruin for Disco.
Might be Ruin here for the life of AyeGarrett. That ult lasts forever, like you said, but can you stray into the tower far enough? The Acid Rain not going to quite catch the tail, and now instead you might be fleeing from KillCamKenny. The Pillar going to have to be beat because he realizes his life is forfeit, and KillCamKenny is content to take that kill. AyeGarrett trying an attempt, just like Codester, to steal it away, but Ares will not be denied. The God of War grabs a nice kill for himself over in the duo lane. Chubby having to use the Aegis there on the flight from Psythro, but will survive as well. Overall, Sunbreakers finally tilt the kill board to their side.
Dude, yeah, like I said, I would definitely like to see the Divine Ruin picked up on Chubby.
We're seeing AyeGarrett need quite a bit of pressure here at the same time, though. Ibba gonna try to find the last bits of damage there with the Haunted Visions. Not gonna quite find that kill there. On the right side, you saw the Cavalry Charge expended as well, but everyone seems to be just fine for now. A bit of a frisky engagement there onto that purple buff. Overall, those Sunbreakers managed to get back with their lives in tow. Sorry, Ztan, get back to what you were saying.
Oh, you're good. You know, we haven't seen much in the way of like 5v5 team fights yet. It's really just been a lot of small skirmishes between 2 and 3, 4 people. I'll be interested to see how the team fights start going as we get towards this next beacon. You know, as we get towards some potential fire fights. Definitely gonna need to see anti-heal out of Flourish and fast if they want to be able to do this.
Oh, this could be troublesome from Animeceo. Already caught down with the 10-hand Shadow Fist. The scritchy scratches in your back from the kitty cat. Gonna find the kill. Codester gets credit for that one. AyeGarrett trying to resist some of this pressure from Kane. Big Desert Sphere gonna be matched with the big death from above, but now standing even for the health, and the Pillar's gonna grant you that extra basic damage you need. AyeGarrett gets the revenge solo kill there on the Marty. And now, King of the Jungle. The title certainly now goes to the real Lion, not the fake, weird Manticore monster one.
Great solo kill from Garrett there.
Didn't even try to put this pressure on, though, as well. That's not quite the solo kill. Psythro, though, going to be able to grab a kill nonetheless. On to ChubbyOstrich there. Thanks to a nice tier 1 tower dive here from the Sunbreakers. They're starting to kind of run away with it now, Ztan. It was even on the kill board for quite some time, but now about 20 minutes in, it reads 9-13, and their gold charts are starting to take off. It's looking really rough here. About, what, 8,000 to their name?
75,
Yeesh.
8,000, yeah.
Would not want to be a member of Flourish right now. But once again, I ask you the all-important question as Anime steps up maybe a bit too far. What is their way back in?
Well, I've said it 3 times now, and just so maybe they hear me, because Quan, you just built Heartward Amulet. Please get some anti-heal.
Especially since
your carries are falling behind here.
Your only amount of anti-heal might die right there. Gonna have to expend the beads for the no escape. Codester could be in a bit of trouble here. Jokic on the offensive there. Ibba going 1v2 to his credit, but a big impale stun there gonna halt the jungler in his tracks. It gets expended a bit there on the fritz, but KillCamKenny gonna oblige happily to that kill and the shutdown support on the jungle violence. Coaster's in trouble. The front line entirely could be taken out here. Kane grabs Codester, and the back line now, though, some big damage being put here on a ChubbyOstrich, and a big Aegis to match the apple. The Unruly Magic could be troublesome here. Has to expend the beads for that. AyeGarrett's return to the scene, though, takes down Kane once again, just to really put the nail in the coffin for the debate of the Lion Goat. DrunkDoorDasher gonna find the kill as well onto the opposing mid laner, and that's going to mean Psythro can clean up Anime with the quickness. Only one remaining is Jokic, and the Oni Fury can only bear witness to the power of the Sunbreakers for a moment longer before they take that down as well.
Yep. 12,000 gold, give or take. We are now officially in uh-oh territory.
Yeah.
This is really where you don't want to be as a team. You know, Merlin is at level 20. Anhur is about to be at level 20. 3-4 level disparities out of mid, out of ADC. 4 level disparity in the solo, 4 level disparity in support. Ibba is on par with Codester as far as levels go. So, you know, he's doing his thing there, but Loki is not going to win you a lot of team fights.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is getting dangerous for Flourish here. If they don't get a win or some kind of turnaround fast,
that would be the turnaround for Sunbreakers, though. Speaking of, assassinate match with the Hunters of Bast for the CC immunity? DrunkDoorDasher is crazy. You deserve those munchies, man. Grabs a nice double in the solo lane. I will tolerate ganks no longer.
Oh boy. That was a hell of a play from DoorDasher, man. Just great individual mechanics there.
Just knowing your god. Knowing how to counter out the pressure from the Loki. We said it could be annoying. It's a flea. Just flick it off real quick. We have all the medicine we need from these. We got the best vets in the world on the Sunbreakers here. That Loki is a pest. Swat it like a fly. KillCamKenny is going to once again put the disco under so much pressure from these chains. Has to use the beads on just that. The no escape hadn't even been expended yet, and that is a brilliant indication for Sunbreakers in the coming fight. Should they find a good blinking gauge onto the disco, they can easily take it out. Titans beginning their march down the mid lane as the tier 2 tower falls. But with the Fire Giant wrapped around all their belts, Sunbreakers can just easily whittle down at this as they retreat back. If Flourish try to step up a bit too far, it could really mean trouble for them.
Yeah, I'm looking for all towers to go down here to Sunbreakers. They should kill this Titan relatively easily. You know, a couple of folks backed, reset, spent their money. I'm kind of looking for them to kill this Titan, push up mid lane, get this bird. Maybe even work on getting a couple of kills, maybe an end call. They're that far ahead.
Oh no, the beads bait. The Ganesh had beads, but it's all gonna come down to the kill from AyeGarrett on Jokic. Big Desert Fury hits too. Animeceo pillared back into the midst of the Phoenix, says thank you for that. I needed some space anyway. Ibba takes to the front lines like he's got the ability to team fight, but I don't know what god you're playing, my friend. Get back to the fountain where you belong. Mid Phoenix under quite a bit of pressure here. Titans at nearly full health. Chubby can't say the same. Might go down here to DrunkDoorDasher. Has to use the bead. Sam survives that engagement. But now with only 3 members up, Flourish don't stand the best way of this team fight without their primary frontline in the form of the Ganesh. Titan might be the apple of Sunbreaker's eye. And with ChubbyOstrich down, they don't have an apple of their own. Ibba gonna be taken down as well by Sam Squared. KillCamKenny goes down, but he has no more bloodthirst left. DrunkDoorDasher also, this could be a bit of an issue. Shut down there for Codester onto the Martikaros, but Animeceo finished Psythro. It's a consolation prize though. With the help of the Titans, Sunbreakers win this 1-2. No, Ymir, no problem, man. You got plays like that. KillCamKenny can lead you to victory anytime. Ztan, what happened to your game 2?
Man. We talked about it in game. It was pretty even kill-wise. Sunbreakers had a little bit of a gold lead, but nothing crazy. And those in-game builds started to hit. The groupings started. That gold lead spiraled to 8,000 to 12,000 to Fire Giant to pushing the Titan down to ending the game.
Yeah.
That's really all that was. Great performance from Sunbreakers there. Flourish definitely have some stuff they need to work on moving into this next week. Some of these comps, maybe we look at shifting some things around here. They've got a great team to get ready to take into playoffs here. Just think they need to do a little bit of work on some of these comps.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. There's mechanical talent, certainly, in the form of ChubbyOstrich. You got Ibba, of course, master of the pentakill, master of the Pele. You have a lot of tools to your side that can certainly bring you some W's. You just need to find a few ways to let those puzzle pieces click into place. But credit to both teams. They played a fantastic set. In the end, though, Sunbreakers take it convincingly with a 2-0 set. But that being said, we have a nice interview here for you as a little treat before we get away here. So we're going to take it away with ace interviewer, Sun, speaking with the victors here of the Sunbreakers. Take it away.
Hello, SDL fans. My name is Sun, and I am joined with the solo laner of Godlike Sunbreakers, Sandman Sam, or the new name change has come in, and now DrunkDoorDasher. Sam, how are we feeling after delivering some food to your community as the DoorDasher you are, and also delivering a 2-0 set to your team here this week in SDL?
Oh, thank you for having me in the interview, man. Really appreciate it. As a DoorDasher, it's just really important to me that I get my food and my wins as fast as I can.
I definitely enjoy a speedy delivery myself, and so you guys had a sub here in this set. This is the first sub that you guys have had in this SDL season. And so how are you liking your guys' chances with the sub? Did the sub really feel like it fit in to the team? And
if I don't mind saying, my sub PSY was likely the best sub that I've ever had in competitive situations. He came to the meeting. He was ready. He knew what he wanted to play. We didn't know what role he was going yet, but he knew. And he was the best. He was the GOAT.
Love to hear the confidence coming out for the sub on the team. And so both games, both game 1 and game 2, you ended the game's top damage for your team, kind of running the lobby a little bit on some
I'm the GOAT.
On some of these assassin-esque picks. And last week we saw you on 2 Guardians on the Cthulhu and Artio. And so just a simple question, is there anything you won't play in the solo lane?
Nah, man. You see, last week, I was feeling a little bit submissive. I wanted to play them Guardians. This week, I was feeling aggressive. I wanted to mess them up. I wanted to hit them with my damage. So I picked those 2 assassins.
Well, one was a mage because Ao Kwang, but
ain't nothing I won't play.
Love the confidence. And so right now, you and the rest of Sunbreakers are sitting at 8 points ahead of the second place team, the Seismic Shockwaves. And so how are you and the team feeling, confidence level wise, for the SDL playoffs here in just a few weeks?
2-0 every game.
2-0 every game.
We ain't dropping another set.
Well, you guys haven't even dropped a set yet.
We ain't dropping any set.
All right. And
why would you even say we would? That was a bit of an aggressive question.
I didn't imply that you guys would. I just wanted to hear the confidence level, and clearly you and the boys are quite confident over there for the Sunbreakers.
Confidence is my middle name. That's a lie. It's David.
All right. And so we know that you are always cooking a lot of these picks over here in the solo lane, and so
I'm cooking.
You're always cooking. You're always working on some new picks over there in the solo lane. So I gotta ask: is there anything you want to spoil about maybe week 7 or SDL playoffs?
When I came into last week, I had just eaten my favorite food, chicken vindaloo, and you know what chicken vindaloo is?
Enlighten me.
It's goddamn spicy.
So.
And that's why I picked Bastet.
Okay.
So I could feel spicy in my skin.
Is there any picks that you're kind of working on right now for the weeks going forward?
Come here.
That you want to maybe hint at? Maybe tease?
I don't even know what I'm thinking.
Fair enough then. And so,
but if I had to say, wager. Penguin. Sorry, little buddy. I would say, clean ya.
Okay. All right. I'd be excited to see that over in the solo lane.
Yeah.
So.
Me too.
Now, a little bit of a fun question for you here, Sam. Preferred Smite collab. If there's something you want.
DrunkDoorDasher to you.
Sorry, DrunkDoorDasher is a preferred Smite collab. Is there anything that you are wanting Smite to collab with for future skins in Smite?
Club Penguin. Here, let me unblur. It's very clear to me that I've disappeared. I'm back. No one can keep me down for that long. This is my penguin. His name is Fred.
Nice to meet you.
Fred. I would like to see Fred.
You'd like to see Fred in Smite?
Fred.
What god would Fred be?
Fred will be conducting the interview now.
What skin for what god would Fred be?
Fred would really like to be Bastet Chan. It's his favorite god. I'm Fred.
A solid choice, Fred, I have to say. So
yeah,
Fred, is there anything?
She's a cat.
Fred, is there
like cats?
Is there anything you want to say to the fans at home for your guys' team, the Godlike Sunbreakers?
Thank you so much for supporting my fans and my friends. DrunkDoorDasher. He's my best friend. I go with him everywhere.
Even on the DoorDash adventures?
Even on the DoorDash adventures. He puts me on the dashboard, sometimes on his hat. And we go around, we deliver chicken vindaloo.
Alrighty then. So
DoorDash.
All right. Well, I'm excited to see you in next week and then into the playoffs shortly after that. And I'm excited to see the rest of the team perform as well. You guys have looked phenomenal so far. Again, 8 points above the rest of the competition right now. So you guys are in a dominating seat, and I'm excited to see that domination continue.
Hell yeah, brother.
Thank you for the time, DrunkDoorDasher.
DoorDash out.
Okay. In what was undoubtedly one of the most interesting, if not the most interesting interviews we have seen here, apart of course from mine with you, Ztan. Can't hold a candle. But thank you, Ace Interviewer Sun and Sam, formerly known as Sam Squared, now known as DrunkDoorDasher. I'll make sure to get that right. I don't want to get yelled at by Fred. But interesting words from the man. Ztan, your thoughts as we recap and really just let it sink in what we just heard.
Oh, there's a lot of thoughts, a lot of confidence from Sam there, and you know, with the position their team's in, I'd say it's warranted. They're playing great. They've got another convincing win here tonight. Definitely going to be looking at them come playoffs.
Absolutely. Any team that comes across the Sunbreakers in the near future, in the playoffs, better watch out. DrunkDoorDasher is looking to serve you some chicken vindaloo, and he likes it extra spicy. But that being said, that is all we have here for you today at the Smite Draft League Week 6 Godlike Division, Flourish versus Sunbreakers. I've been Deelo, joined here by Ztan. We had the very talented interviewer, Suun, on the case there, as well as Sam Squared, now DrunkDoorDasher. Thank you guys both for providing that extra bit of content. We had iNooblet up on the cams and on the production scene. Thanks as always, buddy, for what you do as well. And with that, keep an eye on the YouTube. Subscribe if you'd like. Always got more content coming at you. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for watching.
One of us is going crazy if we don't let it go. I feel everything inside me changes. All